Hello and welcome to the Magic of Life. My name is Max Ryan, and I'm so glad that you're here on this Tuesday morning in California. It's 9 a.m. here. It's a beautiful day. I'm always thankful when the weather is great, when energy is good, and today is one of those really good days. I can feel it. And I'm so excited about today because I have a question for you. Are you possibly a healer or an intuitive that is thinking about, creating a business or helping more people with your gifts? Well, today I have an amazing guest on today. His name is Rocco Distefano, and he is an incredible intuitive, and we're going to talk about the business of healing. It's one of my passions. I help people to do all the time, and Rocco is going to help us in just a little bit when we bring him on. So welcome to the show. I hope that that you are making Tuesday nights at 9 a habit of the magic of life with Max Ryan, and that's who I am. I am the creator and the founder of AttractPositiveResults.com, where I help you move in your life from negative, crazy, overwhelm to positive, smooth, peace and love in your life, in your relationships, in your career. Say yes if you like that. And you might know me from my special appearances on Hay House Radio, or you might know me from my book called Say Yes If. There's my little book there. 30 Days of Positive Questions to Transform Your Life. Either way, if you found me somehow, I'm welcoming you here. It's so great to have you. So I want to just, we don't have a... Today I'm not going to do a live reading. I'm going to do a general reading for all of us. I'm going to pull a card for all of us. It might not even apply to Rocco. Might apply to you too. So I'm going to actually pull a general reading from my tarot deck. I've been working with the tarot. This is interesting. This is the tarot deck. This tarot deck right here, right, is the tarot deck I got when I was 12 years old. Isn't that crazy? A woman that lived next to me when I was a kid, she called me over one day and she said, "You little boy." No, she didn't say that. She was very Rocco's laughing in the background. It's like the Wicked Witch. So she said, "You come over here," and I was like, and I had seen her around, and she took me in her house and she gave me these cards, and she said, "You have the gift," and I was like, "Oh, I think so." And so she sat down with this deck of cards. This deck is 38 years old. Hello, because I'm 50. And she sat with me with this deck, and she went through every single card, and she had me write down the cards, and she taught me how to read the tarot. So I've been reading the tarot for a long time, and I have a passion to actually teach you how to do it, and I'm going to teach it exactly the way that I was taught, and I'm creating a class called Teaching the Tarot, and that's going to be a video class that's coming up real soon. I'm so excited about that. So make sure you go to AttractPositiveResults.com. So let's just pull a one-card reading here to see what Spirit has to tell all of us. Let's see. I love this. Okay, this is the Seven of Rods. The Seven of Rods. A little bright, I know. It's a little bright. Sorry. The Seven of Rods is a great card. The Seven of Rods is all about persistence and sticking with the path, staying of what you're doing. This, I bet you, this applies to. Well, it applies to me. It might be applying to Rocco. It might be applying to you listening. But staying on your path, having persistence, having the courage to keep moving forward. To what? To keep moving forward. When you get this, it really is giving you this, this clue that it's all about, if you stick with it, if you have enough courage, it's all going to work out. Because you might be thinking right now, "Oh, do I want to keep doing that? Oh, can I do it? Can I go to the gym one more time?" Or whatever happens to be. What Spirit is telling you through this card is to have persistence, to keep going. And if you keep going and you have courage to move through, your laziness, your blocks, your excuses, you will have incredible results. Okay? It applies all the time, but I think that this is a great card almost any time in our lives. If it's about your relationships, about your career, about your own inner work, about your physicality, keep going. Have persistence. I always say that consistency is key. What is consistency? It's key. It's key to your success, it's key to your peace, and it's key to having incredible positive results in your life. So be consistent and keep going. You're going to be fine. Okay?
Yes.
Yes! What a great, I love, Rocco, you're right here. I just want to introduce Rocco really quick because I can hear him already. I'm so excited to have Rocco on the show. Rocco is an amazing, amazing intuitive. He's a healer himself. He helps people in many ways. He has one of the greatest names for a website. And if you didn't have it, I would have freaking taken it. But please, everyone, welcome Rocco I'm never going to say it right. Distefano. Is that how you say it?
It's Rocco Distefano.
Distefano. Oh! Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Can you tell us a little more about what you do and how you do it? And your great website.
Sure. First off, Max, I just want to thank you so much for having me on your show. It's an honor to be here. I've been watching you for a few years, and I just have to say, like, it is so refreshing to see someone like you who obviously not only is knowledgeable about spirit, but like you have a reverence for humanity and the human body, and you really care about the people who you work with. Like, you're present for it, and I see how much passion how much you put your heart into what you do, and that is so important, and why I'm glad to be friends with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hear it, and I'm taking it into my body, into my heart. Thank you so much.
I've been working as an intuitive and a meditation coach for about 15 years. And right now I provide intuitive readings for high-profile people. So if anyone is about to break into an industry or curious about where their life is, those are the people that come to me. I find the leaders and the generals of this planet, and I say, all right, here's the spotlight. Hold your left hand up. Say this, success. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do.
I love that. It's great. And what is the name of your website and your business?
YourLifeIsAwesome.com.
Woo! Yay!
It may not be easy, but your life is awesome.
It is. It already is. It's already there. It's only love. We just need to remove the blocks to the awesome love presence, right?
Yes. Yes, I love it.
I love it. That's what it's all about. You know, I love it so much. So I'm so glad you're here. And you know, when we talked about you coming on the show, I was open to what you wanted to talk about, and then you talked about this article that you've written, and I was like, oh my goodness. That is such an incredibly helpful topic, and I really think that a lot of people that are listening to this will be able to benefit from it. So tell us about this article and what it's about.
Sure. A few years ago, I took Your Life is Awesome full-time because it was always part-time. There was always this part of me that was kind of insecure about what I do and intuition. And I mean, I come from a very blue-collar Italian family that doesn't really value anything spiritual or anything. Let's scratch the word spiritual because that's not it. It's more creative and imaginative. So you go to work every day, you bang your head against the brick wall, and that is what makes you a man, and that is what makes you a success. And so that was what I was programmed my entire life. So when I was 19, I came out of the closet in a very conservative Catholic high school in 1996 as a gay man. And it was rough. And that was a very unpopular time to do something like that. So my late teens were really rough. And when I got into college, I realized that I was the only one that was really aware of the things that I was aware of, and really I wasn't getting answers from teachers. I wasn't getting answers or confidence from family. So I started reading every book in the library I could get my hands on religion, philosophy, and metaphysics. And I started studying creative visualization and the tarot. I still have my first tarot deck. That was the Aquarian deck, right?
Yes,
that's the one you have. I love it. And I started studying the tarot and really starting to wrap my head around the psychological ideology of the human psyche. And I started creating meditations and giving readings to people. And I mean, there were kids in the quad who were gathering around me trying to get rid of their hangover just through meditations that I was doing. But I was always on the back burner with this practice because I was always told it was not valuable or worthwhile. It was fluff. I remember I was in the car with my parents once when I was like 11 years old, and I was reading up on superstitions. And I said, oh, well, the reason you shouldn't open up an umbrella inside a house is because it's like opening up your heart to negativity or something like that. And my mom turned to me and said, you know what, Rocco, that and $1.50 will get you on the bus.
Thanks, Mom.
That defines the root of any kind of apprehension I've had about really taking who I am full time. And 3 or 4 years ago, I was really looking for certification programs because I like to do things correctly, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm highly ambitious. So if you're any of those things, we're a match. We're a vibrational match. So I started searching for certification programs, and the people that I was finding, and listen, there are excellent certification programs out there. I think it was just the people I was being connected with, and there was a purpose for it. We're just not on the level that I feel I wanted my business to be, because I look at what we do as, and we're not accredited this way yet, but I view what we do on the same par as professional health care. I think we're on the same par as professional healthcare and psychology. So I wanted to fashion my business and my practices and my ethics alongside that of someone who is a professional healthcare professional. And nobody was providing that. So I worked with a few people that were, just not really up to my level of standards. And that frustration is what produced the 14 things that I feel are essential to run a successful and healthy business in today's economy.
I love it. What a great story. It's so great, and I love this idea of, when I'm really interested in people that have been put down in some way or pushed down and still been able to find a way to live their passion, because I think everyone is in some level. It's obvious when when it's something as clear as what you talked about or whatever, overcoming obstacles and moving forward and following that thing that's inside of them. That's what you and I are all about. So I really admire that, Rocco. Now, this article, I read the whole thing, and it's great. And I recently this is just kind of, it's a vibrational match, one of my favorite terms that you used. A vibrational match for me, because I recently have been, I have my private clients, I do workshops, and I do this kind of show and everything. But my private clients, somehow in the last few months, I have just been attracting all of these healers and intuitives and energy workers that want to play a bigger game. They want to be able to take their message out to the world like you and I have on some level, or at least just make a little bit of a business about it. So when I read all of your things, I was like, so this is what I'm helping people to do right now, and so are you. And we covered a couple of things before we talked, and I just want you to mention some of the things. We talked about this idea of psychic shame. Let's talk about that. What do you mean when you say psychic shame?
Sure. Before I go into that, I do want to be clear. If you're looking to start a business, or even if you're just looking to start a practice that is satisfying to you, everybody's plan and everybody's business is going to be different.
Of course.
Your clients are not my clients. Sometimes they share the same pool, but that idea of competition, before you do anything, I want you to take a deep breath with me and let that idea go out the window, because that is the first hurdle that I see a lot of people getting in their heads about, because you are here to work with a certain group of people. I'm here to work with high-profile, high-level game changers on the planet. I'm here to work with the Bill Gates and the Steve Jobs. Like, that's what my vibration's for. That's my purpose. And that I'm just, the only requirement for me to do that is just to do what I find satisfying. So I don't want anyone to think, who's watching this call and who has a business or is thinking of starting a business, that you have to follow exactly my footsteps. or
Or
Max's
mine.
footsteps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because everyone has their own, in marketing world or whatever. It's like you have your tribe, I have my tribe. There's only going to be a vibrational match to you. So don't be competing with everyone else. Someone just said, one of my clients said to me the other day, she's just starting to work with me. She goes, honestly, does the world need any more coaches? And I said, honestly, yes.
Yes.
And they need you. And
Yes.
my clients are not going to be your clients, so they need you. Of course they need you. So important.
The next stage of evolution, the next stage of economy is this whole idea of being an entrepreneur and being your own boss. And this is so key into what I teach. It's about really stepping into your purpose in this lifetime and really stepping into the teacher that you are. Because I talk about in my meditations a lot about the idea that there will never, ever be again a unique person like Max, like me, or you who's watching. Not in the past, not in the future, or in the present. There is never going to be someone exactly like you. I think Martha Graham had this wonderful quote. She said, if you don't use what you have now, or I'm paraphrasing, if you don't use what you have now, it will be gone forever and wasted. So don't stop comparing. Stop focusing on competition and really start to work on the friendship aspect and the love aspect of who you are. When you like what this is, that's when your purpose reveals itself. That's when your business takes off. That's when the roadblocks are removed.
Yeah. First of all, I love that you quoted Martha Graham. She's one of my favorites. And she also has a great quote about divine dissatisfaction. She has got this. I love that. It's like to be a true artist, and I believe that our life is a piece of art, a work of art, because we're creating it all the time. You have to have this kind of like, I'm not quite, and this is just the creative impulse of life. It's like, I'm not quite satisfied. I need to expand. I need to grow. Having that. And using that word divine because it's from the divine source. It's going, grow. Help. Do whatever you want in the world. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So how does this psychic shame thing come into the whole picture?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying about what my mom had said and kind of taking in that, my mom's stuff and her programming and her scarcity issues and her fear. I mean, I believe that we choose our family to some degree before we're born. That's something that an ideology that I like to look at. So let's say we decided on that. These are the lessons that we're here to learn, and we have to work through the programming that we're given from our families. And mine was, I was born into a family that does not value creativity, that was constantly in fear of where money was coming from or where prosperity was coming from, and that's something that I've had to work through. So I remember, in the early stages, there were times where I had trouble even charging for what I do because I was taught that working meant breaking your back, sweating, pouring down your face, and hating your job. Yeah. Like my dad would always talk about busting his hump and being in pain and how things sucked. And the way he said "suck" with such zeal, like pride and zeal behind it, like this is what it means to be a man. Yeah. And this is the stuff that I've had to work through to get to where I am today. So, psychic shame to me is when and almost a little bit like the woman the kindly lady who pulled you aside and you said, you have the gift. Mm-hmm. There's this level of drama that I feel is getting in the way of our work really stepping into the mainstay of professional healthcare that it's designed to be. Mm-hmm. It's because of this level of drama, this level of mystery around intuition, and let me explain something about intuition. It's not magic. No, it's a fundamental scientific, psychological function of our human body and spirit. It is the communion between body and spirit, and it is the next stage of evolution. You know how we evolved from little tiny paramecia into the beautiful bodies we have today? That's the next step. So when I talk about psychic shame, it's this one big part of psychic shame is a constant need for self-validation. And there have been times in my life where I felt the need to do it. Like when I was a young kid in the quad in college and giving readings to students and trying my best to qualify, oh, is this real? And then when I wasn't giving readings, that doubt would creep back in. So I would constantly be hunting for that accolades, like, yes, you're talented, yes, you're accurate, yes, your creativity and your intuition, your imagination is all valid. So a big thing about psychic shame, and I see it on TV, and it's holding us back, is the idea that what we do is not worth time or money. Yeah. And it is. It is. Mm-hmm. And the way you really walk away and step out of that is stop doubting yourself when you're giving readings, whether it's tarot or it's coffee grind readings or tea leaves, whatever you do. It's your experience that's really counting, and your experience is what's valuable. It's not about reading the future. It's not about giving this person the precise information that's going to make them impressed with you. It's about valuing your experience of them.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I love what you're saying, because that's what I always tell people, because I kind of coach intuitives too, and I'm just like, this is the main issue. I had it. Sometimes it comes up for me still. Even it might come up for you. It's like I've got to be right. I've got to be right. And it's like, no, you got to let that go. First of all, you
can't be wrong.
Yeah, that's right. If you're trying to be right, you can't be. It's like crazy, and that's your ego, and the ego gets in the way of spirit coming through and just telling you, I don't know why I'm thinking about white poodles right now, but I just need to tell you white poodles. And they're like, oh my God, my grandma had a white poodle. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, because then inside, you have that shame of like, oh my goodness, they're gonna think I'm wrong, or they think I'm bad. Am I good as Lisa Williams? If I'm bad as whatever, do they think
their stuff?
Oh, that's all,
You
exactly.
can't live in someone else's head. You have to look. The way I look at humanity, and listen, I have doubt too. There are days where I have doubt, and that's part and partial for being human.
Yeah.
But a healthy way that I look at it is this. If you look at every person in the planet as their own universe, mm-hmm. you can't be responsible for what happens in someone else's universe. That's way too much drama and too much energy for this tiny brain that we have. Yeah. So if you start accepting the fact that you cannot be wrong, because the universe doesn't make mistakes, even though it feels that way sometimes, yeah, right. Then I think you will soar in your readings and your business and just in life in general.
I agree. The other thing that we were talking about that, when we do this work, and I'm sure that you deal with it a lot, is that this work can be whatever you're doing. If you're doing healing work, if you're doing readings, if you're coaching or whatever, if you're nursing, whatever it happens to be. And I love your whole concept of, this work should be exactly on the par of what healthcare is. But yes. I love that. But, this idea of, when we don't take care of our bodies and take care of our soul, it's like that zap. It's just being a continuous outflow, and you're not caring for yourself. I see that with a lot of people, the trap, when people start doing this work. Talk a little bit about this, taking care of your body.
Sure. Like I said earlier about being friends with this, it's not easy, and I'm not going to say it's one of the hardest things to do. And if you can get even a little headway every day, you're on the right track, and I applaud you, and I'm really proud of you. So keep doing it.
I'm going to the gym after we're done.
Yeah, but don't go to the gym to beat yourself up. And
no, I go because it makes me feel good. And I know if I don't go, I'm going to I feel like crap.
Good.
I go because I'm like, it's a release.
Good. And so, going to the gym, for example, that's a great thing to do. But going back to the friendship thing is really honoring this physical body that we have. Because I hear a lot of people talk about how the ego is a bad thing, and it's not. The ego has to be friends with your higher self. There needs to be a handshake. Because if there's no handshake, one or the other suffers. There needs to be a communication. So before I can do any readings, before I can even step out the door at the end of the day, I need to have a couple of things in check. And one of them is making sure that I'm eating correctly, properly for my body. And my body and my nourishment needs something different than yours. And I know what I need to be healthy and happy and successful and be responsible for taking care of my clients. And I encourage you to go out there and find out what you need. I just recommend putting things in your body that are clean food, food that is nourishing and will give you energy and doesn't weigh you down. You don't have to be vegan. You don't have to do an extreme diet. Just read the labels before you eat something. That's always a good idea.
Oh my God, Rocco, you and I are exactly the same. I so agree with you. I believe every body is completely different, and
Mm-hmm.
you will know some people, they need meat. Some people don't need meat. Some people, and I think it's really important to do that. And it's crazy because my friend Penny, who I think is in the chat room, I'm going to look at that really quickly. She was just this morning, we were talking on our group call, and she was saying, how she asks her body what she needs. And then she's like, I'm going to make a smoothie that has this. And then she felt great instead of going, oh, I guess I'm going to do this. It's that conscious eating. Hold on one second. I am going to check into the chat
Sure.
room 1 second. Let's see if
Great.
people... and Penny is there. Penny says, that's a perfect card for me today. Good, Penny. That Six of Rods was good for you. Hannah says, hello, Max and Rocco from Israel. We have people
Hi,
in Israel.
Hannah. Welcome.
I love that. Penny says, Rocco nailed you, Max. Oh, that was the introduction. Thank you so much.
Hi, Penny. It's nice to meet you, too. And I thank you. I nailed Max today, apparently.
That sounds a little... Okay. Penny has a really great hangout show on Friday nights where she drinks wine. It's really fun. Okay. So let's continue our conversation. We only have a few more minutes. We're going to wrap up. But I want to talk to you, this idea about eating the right foods. I love it. Do you remember really quickly in... what was it? Oh, yeah, it was in The Secret, whatever you think about that movie, whatever. But one author and a man that I really respect a lot is Neil Donald Walsh. And in that movie, he said, if eating a salami or bologna sandwich brings you closer to God, eat the sandwich.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Sure.
Yeah, because it's all your intention. It's like that's why some people could smoke 4 packs a day and drink whiskey every single day and they live to 150 because they're all happy. They're all connected. It's all good. Whatever it is. I'm not endorsing that. But it is definitely about how your intention is. If you're like, "Oh my God, I can't eat that." That's worse than just eating it. Just eat it. Just eat it. That vibration is going to destroy your body.
I also feel that where we are now, energetically and emotionally and physically, we're changing, and we really have the ability to decide where we're heading societally. And that brings me to another very important part about taking care of your body. I need to be grounded before I do a reading. I need to be grounded in psychology and science way before I do anything spiritual. So while I have the ideology of a spirit animal or a spirit guide or angels, I know that before I can go there, I need to be Rocco first and foremost. I need to wake up, I need to go to work, I need to take care of myself, go to the doctors, and take care of my full physical body before I get into any kind of creative work, any kind of spiritual or intuitive work. And that I also feel it's very important, and these are my standards. I really feel it's very important that if we're doing this work and we're doing any kind of counseling, that I think it's important for at least once a month to be supervised by a licensed psychotherapist, because it's in favor of really marrying the work that we do. I think psychology and intuition are hand in hand, and I only feel comfortable working with people who are that grounded, and that's something I do.
I love that. I love that. You sort of just described A Course in Miracles, actually. That's my practice.
I've never read it.
I'm a teacher and student of it for over 30 years, and Course in Miracles is this incredible psychological spiritual mind study. That's what it is. It uses psychology to connect you with the divine, to remove your blocks to love's presence because you're not healthy in your head. You need to get healthy in your head, in your mind, which is the tool that will connect you with your divine source. And so that's really what the Course in Miracles is about. I love that you said that. How perfect is that? Yeah, and having that sense of grounding, whatever it is for you. For me, it is the Course in Miracles. Or, I've done therapy many years in my life, and I've had therapists. Right now, I tend to do it for a year or two, and then I take a little break or whatever it happens to be. But I always, for myself, I'm always, always, always involved somehow in expanding my mind, understanding what's happening with my mind through a coach or through other people that are much smarter than me. So I think that that's really a great, wonderful point. So, we're going to wrap up here, Rocco. You've been incredible. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
I want to make sure that everyone knows how to get in touch with you, and I'm going to tell you, everybody, I'm going to post the link to that article in the description of the show when we're done. Okay, so you can read that whole awesome article. So tell us how we can get in touch with you and all that stuff.
Sure, great. Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. I love hanging out with you, Max. It's always like a high energy experience. You're such a sweetheart, and you're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for. So there, I've said it.
Thank you.
You can reach me at yourlifeisawesome.com, and I'm also at Rocco Distefano on Twitter. And I'd like to extend to your audience, Max, a gift. I have anyone who books a reading with me through my intuitive life readings on my website will get a free 15-minute follow-up as a bonus. So just mention this Google Hangout and you'll get that bonus. And I'm giving a gift for the holidays to your audience, Max. Anyone who goes to my meditation store and checks out for my and purchases my intro to meditation, use the coupon code self-compassion, one word, and for the rest of the year you'll get 20% off everything in that store. And that's my gift to you for watching.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. Yay.
Yay.
I was going to have the little effect, but I don't want anything to go along. Rocco, you're a gift to the world. We have to have you back on for sure.
Sure.
We're going to figure out something. I'm trying to figure out right now. It's a whole thing. I want to try to have people calling in and doing readings. It would be really fun to do like tag team readings together. That would be really fun.
Sure, I'm game. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm gay, so ha ha ha. Anyway, I had to go there. That's so funny. All right, okay. So thank you, Rocco, so much. Really, everyone go to yourlifeisawesome.com, and Rocco, you are awesome. And I just want to, in signing off here, I want to tell you that if you're in the Los Angeles area, this week on Saturday, I am doing my Attract Positive Results full day law of attraction training. It's a 6-hour training. This is the whole kind of kit and caboodle. We have a lot of fun. I combine A Course in Miracles work, spiritual work, with law of attraction work. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in spirit, but it sort of does help when you do this. But I invite you all to come. It's a great, great day. It's only $49. The slots are going fast. It's in Bel Air, so if you're in Los Angeles area. And then on Sunday, the day after, I'm going to be doing actually running the church service, Sunday services at the Lisa Williams International School for Spiritual Development, same place that the school is. So I invite you to come. And as I always say, I pray that love will guide you. And remember, unthinkably good things can and do happen. Visit me at attractpositiveresults.com. Thank you, Rocco.
Yes. Thank you, Max.
Okay, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.